Frenchie's one of my favorite characters within the show, so seeing him finally get his hero moment had me so hyped this episode. But seeing everything unfold by the end of the episode had my heart breaking. If Frenchie wouldn't have been there, the boys would have been Vine food. If you haven't seen any of the new season 5 episodes of The Boys, or if you're currently watching it right now, go ahead and skedoodle because there's going to be some spoilers I want to talk about. The boys end up making their way to Fort Harmony in this episode, which is the place that Soldier Boy and other test subjects went through Dr. Vought's V1 trials. The boys are on their way there to try to see if there's any V1 that might be hidden there, but on their way there, they're seeing a lot of corpses strewn about on the path. And people start becoming particularly snappy. When everyone gets inside though, they really start jumping at each other's throats. Huey and Butcher are roasting each other, but it starts getting pretty aggressive. And then Huey drags MM into it, and Frenchie's clocking everyone's aggressiveness, but he himself is not becoming aggressive. And so he's able to de-escalate everyone's aggression and lead them on down towards the lab where the V1 potentially could be. On their way there, Frenchie ends up coming across these two corpses. And on the corpses are these vines that are like kind of growing up over them and down the stairwell as well. Frenchie immediately clocks that there is something in the air that is causing living creatures to become abnormally rageful and just start attacking anything and everything in their view. But this isn't affecting Frenchie because he's taken so many drugs that it's altered his brain chemistry, so it doesn't affect him the way that it's affecting other people. However, Frenchie is able to connect to it, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. When they get downstairs and they realize the V1 isn't there anymore, people start getting real angry and they start fighting each other. Frenchie's able to sprint away. He finds hallways that are more overran with those vines, and so he follows those hallways and he ends up finding something in this big circular room. Before we get to see it, Frenchie taunts Soldier Boy into following him into this room, where we then see that all of these roots are actually coming from one person, and this person Soldier Boy actually knows. And so Frenchie has to try to talk Soldier Boy into taking out Quinn, but Soldier Boy doesn't want to. So Frenchie is then able to rage bait Soldier Boy a second time, and I think Frenchie connected to Quinn, and Quinn told Frenchie that he hated Soldier Boy. Quinn was an actual soldier and he felt that he earned his place there, while Soldier Boy bought his way into the program. And so he always viewed Soldier Boy as a rich boy and that he didn't earn his place there, which then causes Soldier Boy to rage out and do his little laser chest thing, taking out Quinn altogether and saving everyone from his rage curse that he had spreading out through the vines. But sadly, unlike most hero stories, this hero does not get the good happy story ending, because the story ends with Kimiko breaking up with him, and I just could not handle that after he was doing so good, and I feel like that's setting him up to be taken out later on this season. And speaking on Frenchie and Kimiko's relationship ending, Frenchie and Kimiko's whole relationship just hurts me. Like, why can't the writers just let them be happy together? Now, to start off, I have always been a Kimchie shipper. That's apparently the ship name for Frenchie and Kimiko. I googled it. We almost saw them get together in season 3 after Kimiko kissed Frenchie in the hospital, but then Frenchie got abducted by little Nina, and then Kimiko got abducted by little Nina shortly after. She told Frenchie that she actually thought the kiss was weird and that she saw Frenchie as more of like a family kind of relationship that she didn't want to ruin. Not together, that's fine. Best friends works just as good as not romantically together for me. But then in season 4, Kimiko expresses that she has feelings for Frenchie at the end of the season, and they kiss and they get together, and now I have whiplash. And now, while I'm relishing in these feelings that finally the ship that I've been supporting since season 1 is finally together, they get abducted by Sam and Kate, and then they get separated to separate sides of the world. They're both able to survive an entire year within Vought's clutches. However, Kimiko did end up escaping, but they are eventually reunited within season 5, and they are immediately very heavily intimate. And so we get a couple episodes of not only them being together, but Kimiko being able to speak with Frenchie. So now they're able to not only communicate within their sign language, but then also they can speak to each other on a vocal level too now, which I think was going to deepen their relationship so much more. Only for Kimiko to turn around and break up with Frenchie. Are you kidding me? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand why Kimiko broke up with Frenchie. She doesn't want to change Frenchie. She just wants to change herself and her lifestyle. She admits to Frenchie that she can only talk because she let go of all the chaos in her life. But she knows that Frenchie loves chaos and he thrives in it. And she would never ask him to change himself. But she cannot go back to that. And I understand that she needs to separate from Frenchie for her own mental health and for her own ability to speak because of the lack of chaos that she's had in her life. And while I understand her choice, I do fear that it solidifies Frenchie's demise. I feel like we're gonna get some kind of sacrificial moment from Frenchie. He's either going to offer himself up in exchange for Kamiko's life, or Kamiko's going to get exposed to the virus and Frenchie himself is also going to expose himself somehow so that they can die together. But those are just my thoughts on Frenchie and his role within this newest episode, and my thoughts on his and Kamiko's relationship as a whole. But what were your guys' thoughts of this newest episode of The Boys? And how do you think these last couple episodes are going to unfold? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know.